Yeah. Coming to you live as your boy C Hop, the neighborhood wise man, out here with my cousin EJ. And we sitting in front of her establishment, man, her business, her hair salon, and we just gonna talk about promoting her business and the things that you do to go through building and what's the name, if you can explain to them the name. And I felt like I'd jack it up.
So the name is Mayraki Hair Loft, and Mayraki is a Greek word. It means to put your all into your work, to leave a piece of yourself into whatever it is that you do. So, I thought it was just perfect. It went with me, like my style and how I love to do hair, and it's my passion. So it was the perfect name.
Okay, yeah. So, like, what gave you the drive to accomplish getting your own salon? Like, cause you got so many people that might fall short or work with other people and different stuff like that. What kept you motivated to make sure that you established your own?
Well, to be 100% honest, cause it's like my background, the way I grew up, my family, and like I come from a family where there's not a lot of achievers. There's not a lot of successful people in my family, so it always drove me to want more and to do better. Like, you know what I mean? Like growing up, I always did people here in the neighborhood, but I never thought it would be my career. Like I never saw me actually opening up a salon and really taking it serious, but I just knew I wanted to be successful. I knew that I wanted to, have a legacy. Like I knew that I wanted one day my son to be able to look and see that I tried and I worked my hardest. I grew up, my mom on drugs, raised by my grandma. The whole like nobody. I don't even have one person in my family that graduated from college.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we just coming from nothing, it makes you want more. It makes you push harder.
How was that growing up? With your mom battling addiction, like seeing that, like, because a lot of people don't understand how serious that is when you have to live with it from within.
Right.
Especially back in the day, the way it was, because you have more going on. Like now, there's people getting in the car, on the houses, on the phone. Now, back in the day, you had to deal with people seeing that, knowing that's your mom, and seeing it. You know what I mean? Like, how did that affect you as well in your upbringing as well as motivate?
Well, honestly, it caused me to be rebellious. I got picked on, my mom walking around, crackhead, your mama crackhead and all that. It caused me to be rebellious and defensive. So I was always fighting, getting suspended from school, getting kicked out of school and all of that. But so it was really hard to have to see that. The good thing is my mom got clean when I was like 12 years old or whatever. She got back into my life, and even though she was back and she was off drugs, we didn't have that relationship that I wanted with her. You know what I mean? Right. So I still was like, going to the streets, and I found love in the streets. You know what I mean? Hang with my friends, guys, or whatever. But like I said, even still, it got to a point where I just knew I wanted more. I just knew that I wasn't going to be young forever.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think I was like 17, and I was at my aunt's house, and she lived in a one-bedroom apartment. And it was like 6 of them living in an apartment. Have a good one. It was like 6 people living in a one-bedroom apartment. And at that very moment, I had an epiphany. I just knew, like, this is not the life I wanted. I knew the way my life could have went. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I sat there and I'm like, you know what? I'm just finish school and then work on myself and do what I got to do for me. And that's what I did.
I feel like one of the biggest things that people don't do is they don't have
they
don't have the reality of trying to better themselves and really wake up, because it takes epiphany. It takes you to really dig yourself. So you know what? I'm gonna make sure that I get better and I have better and I be better. And even though you're gonna struggle to get over the hump, you still gotta be willing to fight to get over the hump. So with that, what would you encourage people to try to fight and even be able to get over their hump?
Honestly, I would encourage people to, first and foremost, you gotta want it. Right. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you see stuff that other people want and you think, other people got it and you think you want it, but everything might not be for you. Right. You know what I mean? So, it's definitely gotta be within you. So you gotta want more to do more. Right. Because if you want better, then you'll do better. If you know better, you do better. Right. So just basically just do it for me. It's like I gotta do it. It's like if I do it or it don't get done.
Right.
So.
And the way the world changing even more, nobody gonna help you with nothing. Nobody want to help. I mean, I hate to say nobody because it sounds so literal, like you mean 100% nobody, but that's not what I mean. I mean so more so the majority of people you around, either they don't know themselves, or they lost and trying to figure out their own lives, or they just don't have the capability or the finances or the education to help. And some people just not gonna help because they just don't care to help.
And then you got your ones that help just to say that they help. Just throw it in your face.
No doubt.
Can't forget about them.
Yeah, they the worst.
Right.
They the worst. And that's the motivation because I'm like, I ain't going to nobody that just want to throw in my face like it. Because that's why I never really was a borrower, never asked nobody. Because the one thing I always dreaded, I hated to hear people say that about other people. Man, if it wasn't for me, that nigga or that girl, she was. And I don't like that statement because you got, like you said, you can give somebody guidance, you can give them game. And even when I was in the streets, when I was on, I put everybody on. And I went to dudes that I thought can benefit from me. And out of pride, they sometimes, oh, no, I'm cool and all. But I put everybody on. I got the same philosophy now. If I can get my word across and other people get their words across so they feelings or their whatever, man, let's all do it together. Let's eat together. Let's figure it out together because just like there's multiple clothing lines, clothing stores, food stores, Rite Aid, markets, and all of them make millions of dollars. It's not just $1 billion company.
Right.
Trillion. It's a bunch of them.
Right.
So why can't we do the same thing and become a bunch of $1 billion or $1 million black small businesses or talk shows or interviews or podcasts or radio stations, whatever, rappers, singers, whatever. Why can't we support each other and become wealthy or become multiple $1 million industries like all these other places?
Right.
So having that motivation, stop the present, because it almost slipped my mind. So where do you get the name from, Wagon Monroe? I was thinking about that. I said, you know, I on a boy cousin tip, like, where'd that come from?
Wagon Monroe, yes. Remember that name. It's like, but no. When I was like in high school, I used to always say I had a big wagon. I made everybody call me Wagon.
Oh, yeah.
And then Monroe came years later when I had like this little small infatuation with Marilyn Monroe. Not really infatuation with her, but I used to just like have a lot of pictures and stuff like that. Then I just took the Wagon and added the Monroe.
Oh, yeah. But, you know what a guy think with it. You basically, that's what you're supposed to think. But it's self-explanatory.
Right.
If you think of Wagon as a guy, you're like, Wagon? Like, Wagon? Yeah. So I was like, man, what? You know what I mean? But,
yeah.
So even on another note of just being positive and being productive, but everybody always show, like even like with instant gratification now, Instagram. Everybody always show, they make their pictures seem like everything's perfect. And you know, I'm still struggling. I didn't take pictures growing up. I'm not in a lot of family pictures. I'm not a picture dude, so I still probably take regular gel or corny pose. I don't know how to take no pictures, but I just been taking them just to savor a moment.
Right.
But some people, they selling the image that's not really true, or not really, you know, it's not really the proper representation of themselves. So people now, they want you to believe one thing while the actuality is another thing.
Right.
So speaking on that, as far as being a black businesswoman, what's the odds on the flip side of the struggle that it puts you through physically and mentally, and being a mom?
Right. So with the social media thing, like I always said it, like Instagram is not reality, but it's the reality of the world. Because you know, I get a lot of my news off of Instagram. If something happened such and such, or you know, whatever's in the news, Bill Cosby got locked up, whatever.
Right.
Like it's all on the social media, it's all on, you know, Instagram and all of that. But like with me, even if I take pictures of my work, like my hairstyles and everything, I try not to put filters in it, you know, because I want you to see my work in its purest form. But at the same time,
you said its purest form.
Right.
Cars came out.
Yeah, right, in its purest form. Because sometimes you might put a filter on a hairstyle and it look more polished. So that's what people do. You know, they put a filter on their face and it look more polished, but that's not really the reality of the situation. So I try to, like, I put filters on my pictures and all that, but when it comes to my work, anything that I'm selling, I try to let you know, like, this is what you see is what you get. You know what I mean? Because you go somewhere, you see somebody work on Instagram, they doing hair, whatever, and then you go get your hair done, and like, well, how you do this and this look like that? But that's because, you know, but like I said, Instagram is not reality. You see people post on Instagram, got this, they got that, they doing this, they doing that, but as soon as you get with them, they broke. They don't got no money. Like, what? Damn, what happened to all that? So I try to stay away from like the social media as far as reality. Like, I separate
the entertainment from reality.
Right? Because I know I be with people that I know pump fake on Instagram. Like, you know what I mean? So I separate the two. So I don't really deal with that when it comes to that. Right.
So far in regards to like the struggle of, because so a lot of people, when they finally see you hit your number, or even because, man, we got a lot of that. When you, I feel like people they do too much trying to underrate or overrate success. What might be successful to you, or the top of the mountain, for your mountain is your mountain. My mountain is my mountain. Your mountain may be higher than mine, and that's cool because I might be cool with my mountain. My mountain might be higher than yours, and that's cool because we're satisfied with our hard work and the work we put in our mountain. So I say that to say, you know, a lot of times people, they ain't doing it like this or like that or like this, but be comfortable in your own skin.
For sure.
And some people, they struggle to be comfortable within their own skin because they too worried about everything else that's going around them that might be falsified information or just a picture that's not true, whatever the portrait may be painted. But beyond that, on the flip side of it all, people don't understand the hard everyday grind that it takes. And even still having to deal with relationships, having to deal with being a parent, having to deal with family, siblings, mothers, all different type of issues that might make you stay up at night, but yet you still got to come and get that 7 o'clock appointment. So from that perspective, like now I'm a little cuz running around while we're this. So we got to keep an eye on him as well. But through all that, because we coming into the rap all the time, through all that, on that side, two last things. The pressure it takes to do this day in and day out and keep your roof over, keep your bills paid, and how do that overwhelm you? Because, you know, it's here. Sometimes it can get slow months, sometimes you might have popping months. And if you had anything that you could say to somebody coming behind you or in the game with you or whatever the case may be that might be mentally helpful. Because it ain't always got to be financially, because they might got their own thing financially, but they might struggle with something mentally that they feel like they're the only ones going through. Maybe you even feel like that. So if you had something to say in those regards, what would be the closing words that you would say on both of them realms if it wasn't too much?
First, I would say, like, whatever it is that you do, keep doing it. You know what I mean? Whatever it is that you do, just do you. You know what I mean? Like you said, everybody has their own mountain. You know what I mean? And don't let Instagram or the social world stop you from doing what you're doing. Like, a lot of people, I go through struggle. Like, I went through the struggle of being pregnant, my child's father in jail, you know, him being on the run, and me opening up a business and, you know, having a lot of things going on, moving into new houses, buying new cars, and nobody would have never known it. You know what I mean? Because I keep it pushing. Like, at the end of the day, I know I still got to get the job done. And if I don't do it, nobody else is going to do it. So, like, my advice to anybody is just to, you know, keep it pushing. And don't let everybody know your next move. Don't let everybody know what's going on. Like, everybody don't need to know your life. Like, you know what I mean? The people around you that know what's going on, that's the only ones that it matters to. You don't got to tell Instagram everything you do, everywhere you at. Everything, like, you know what I mean? Like, when the shop opened, it was a surprise to the world. I took the world by storm. Dropped my little hair care line. It was a surprise to the world because I'm not letting everybody know my every move. You know what I mean? Because those are them same people that's preying on your downfall. The downfall. They waiting for you to fail. You know what I mean? But
a lot of 90%.
But when you pop out with it, it's like, oh damn, how she do that? Damn, she been sitting on that all this time. She ain't say nothing. Like, that's the kind of person I am. And I feel like that's what works for me.
That's where it's going to cut us off at.
Oh, it's not. Oh, right.
Yeah, it's kind of push now. But that was cool. because they ain't gonna let me go. I ain't got enough
Right.
followers, I think, to go 15 minutes.
All right.
But no, that was strong
All right.
because